everybody. So today I want to talk about money. This is one of my favorite subjects, and because I believe there are so many misconceptions around money that I love to talk about it. And so I will start with a question. On average, in the United States, who do you think has more wealth? A teacher or a doctor? This question was asked by Penelope Jane Smith, and more about her in a minute. But I love that she posed this question because I am currently reading a book that I highly recommend, Millionaire Next Door. And the same idea was discussed. They asked, where do you think you're going to find most of the wealth? And of course, most people are going to say, in the wealthy neighborhoods, in the wealthiest of the wealthiest neighborhoods. I can't even say that word. And, where they have the big mansions and the big cars and all that. And we would be wrong. So you see, it doesn't matter how much you make. You could be making $1 million, $2 million. If you're making $2 million and spending $2.5 million, there's a problem, correct? And so the researchers, they did all this research in the Millionaire Next Door, the authors did, and they found that most of America's wealth is actually found in simple middle class neighborhoods with people who are living in very simple houses, have very simple cars, and yet they have all this wealth. And instead, in the wealthier neighborhoods, there's a lot of debt, which makes sense, right? And so when Penelope asked this question, I already knew because a doctor, right, has a lot of, there's this like pressure that they have to have a certain lifestyle or they're not successful. Think about it. If a doctor shows up in a beat up car or for whatever reason, you go see him at his house for whatever reason, and his house is average, the assumption is this doctor isn't successful, right? So in the United States, we assume that if a doctor is successful, he's going to live in the best neighborhood, send his kids to the best schools, drive the most fancy cars, but all that is costly. And so a lot of the money that he makes goes toward the lifestyle. While a teacher, for example, who does not have that pressure, on the contrary, tends to save, 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 save. And before you know it, she or he has built wealth, significant wealth. And so in the Millionaire Next Door, it's the same concept, the same idea. And it's fascinating because we have these ideas, right, about the wealthy and about the rich. And we go into the neighborhoods and we're like, oh, we just wish we had their money. We have no idea, right? No idea how stressed they are about money, if they have debt, if they have 10 times more debt than you and I combined. I mean, we have no idea, right? And so, but we make all these assumptions. And the truth is, I've noticed it even with a lot of my clients and even in my own personal life. The more somebody makes, if they don't have the right systems in place, tonight I cannot speak, and the right mindset, they tend to spend more when they make more, right? And so there's a huge difference between respecting money and managing it well and just assuming that if you make more money that it's going to solve all your problems. And this is something that I love, love, love to talk to my clients about because I always tell them, because there is this misconception, well, if I just made $1 million a year, all my problems would be solved, right? Or whatever that number is. But the truth is we have to learn how to manage our money well now with however much money we have, and then the universe sends us even more money because it knows that we're managing it well. And even if we don't even talk about metaphysical, spiritual concepts, it's, I know plenty of people in my life who are extremely wealthy, who don't care at all about metaphysics or spirituality. They don't even, it's not their thing, right? But all of them have one thing in common. They respect money and they're very careful with their money. Some people might call them stingy. Some people might make fun of them by saying that, oh my gosh, they're so stingy with their money and they have all this money. Why can't they just, let go of their money a little bit? And it's not, it's actually for them, it's them respecting money, them being very careful with their money, with every single dollar. Where does it go? Right? Where I've noticed that, people who tend to not have money are more careless with their money. They tend to not know where their money goes. I was talking to a client recently, and that's one of her goals was to make more money. And so first I wanted to figure out, well, where is your money going now? And so I asked her, how much do you make and how much I wanted to see the numbers. And she didn't know. And this is very common with people who don't have money. They have no idea how much they're making, how much is going out in bills, how much is going out in, entertainment, no clue. So I told her, well, this is really important for you to write down and jot down. You have to know where you're at right now. You can't just not have a clear picture, a clear idea of where you're at right now. First, let's figure this out. And so I said, you have to write every single thing down, how much you make every single week. And then every single penny that comes out, write it down. Where does it go? And she did. And she was shocked to see her money patterns. She had literally no idea. She had always said, well, it's just, money comes and money goes. And I don't know, it's very stressful when I have all this debt. And then when she finally paid attention to every single penny that was going in and out, she realized, wow, I spend a lot of money that I don't have. I'll make, let's say this, I'm just going to say a number. I make $1,000 a week, but I spend around 1,200. No wonder I'm in debt. And so I told her, this is where we have to be very careful and have some systems in place. And there's this other amazing book. You guys know I love books. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And I love, love, love his suggestion of basics. Like it's like the 7 little piggy banks. And each one, you put money aside every month. So you put like 10% here. And, I'm not going to go into each of the 7 little piggy banks, but I want you to look it up, the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind with T. Harv Eker. But like, one is going to be for entertainment, one is going to be, for education, one is going to be for your bills. So to do that and to be very, very careful every single month, where if you put a 10%, for example, for entertainment, you only use whatever's in there for entertainment and you don't take money out of the other ones, right? And so again, this topic alone could be a whole video. And I won't go into the details, but I told my client to do the system. I had her read the book and I had her, implement the system. And her life has dramatically changed. She went from having debt to almost completely clearing out her debt just by the system, just by paying attention to every single penny that comes in and every single penny that goes out. Just by doing that and then implementing the system of, 10% and then, piggy banks. They're not really piggy banks, but you get the idea of setting money aside each month, paying herself first and, making sure that she doesn't touch them, right? That she doesn't grab some from the bills to pay for, her latest dress at Zara. She doesn't do that anymore. And so this is why the wealthy get wealthier and the poor get poorer. The wealthy are very careful with their money. They don't need, that fancy car. They don't need to show off in that fancy house. And I'm not by any means am I suggesting that everybody that's watching this has to live in a house that they don't like or drive a car that they don't like or, downsize. It might be the solution to if you're having serious financial problems, that might be the solution. I don't know, everybody is different, but I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. I'm a big believer in making and creating money, all of that. But I'm telling you facts, and these are the facts. And the facts are that people who are wealthy, who actually have wealth, right? And not just the facade of wealth, the beautiful house and the beautiful fancy cars where they might be in serious debt. I'm talking about people who actually have serious wealth. who might have never heard of even what the law of attraction is or spirituality, what they have in common is that they respect money. They learn about money. They save. They make more than they actually spend, right? So they live below their means. And they learn about investing and they invest and they're careful. They respect their money. And people who have serious financial problems, I've seen repeatedly, it's the opposite. They have no idea how much they're making, or at least how much they're spending, what they're spending it on, or they just love to spend carelessly. And so the reason why I wanted to bring this up as well is because this is such an important topic for everybody. And I have always looked for the best of the best that teach this particular subject, especially for my community, for my clients. I love, love, love to send my clients to people who are experts in certain fields. And I have found, I've known about her, but I recently took her 3-day course. I'm always learning. I'm always in courses, reading books, listening to podcasts. This is me like every single day. And so I recently took her 3-day course and I was mind blown. This course is specifically on money, and it is by Penelope Jane Smith, who I briefly mentioned in the beginning. She has so much knowledge. Out of all the people who I've ever heard speak on money, I feel like she's the one who is the most complete, because it's not just spirituality, law of attraction. It's also like practical stuff and, stuff that, tangible, um, practical, on saving, on investing. Her brain she's a brilliant brain. She's just such a smart woman. And she's built a little empire. And so she's somebody who definitely I want to send all of my clients to listen and to learn from her. And so I actually asked her if I can spread the word on her amazing course. And of course, she said yes. And so I will post below the link. And she's actually on my website. This is how much. There are only like 4 people that I have on my website. There's so many amazing people that I love, that I would endorse. I would have tons of people that I think are amazing, but I chose 4 on my website. If you go on my website, conniecosta.com, under recommendations, there are only 4, and Penelope is one of them. And so you go and check it out, because these 4, I stand by 200%. They've changed my life. And so I highly recommend, highly recommend that you check them out. And so I will post the link below for Penelope. If you want to get serious about your money, your finances, and if you want to start building wealth and the lifestyle that you've always wanted, I highly recommend you take this 3-day free course that I mentioned. It's free, so you have nothing to lose. And you will see, you will be thanking me. You will be thanking me that you took this course. I thought it was amazing. It changed, even I've been studying finances forever, but it even like changed a lot of the ways that I've been thinking about money. It's really, truly mind blowing. I really wish every single woman took this course. I'm not exaggerating. I think it is so important. That's one of the reasons why I love her, is because she's a badass woman. I love to support women, and I love to support women who are really smart about money. And so, highly recommend. Again, this is just a little snippet that I gave you today about money, but she talks about it for 3 days straight, giving you so many extraordinary tools for you to take your money game to the next level. So please check out the link below that I'm going to post, and have the most fabulous time at her 3-day event. And it's online. And then please send me a note letting me know what you think. I know you're going to love it, and I know you're going to love her. All right, everybody. Ciao.